It's a beautiful morning in the city of Abuja. It's actually 10 minutes past 10. My name is Lawrence Umotte. Happy holidays for those of you that are lucky to be off work. Well, not to burst the bubble, it's going to end today. Work will resume tomorrow. But while we savor the delight of taking it easy a little bit and enjoying the holidays, we bring you insights right from the stables of Citizen FM 93.7, and it's our flagship program on news and current affairs, where we highlight unfolding socio-political events going on around the globe. Once again, welcome to Insight, and my name is Lawrence Umotte. And also, I hope you are enjoying our new sick tune. Yes, we launched it on Thursday last week. And so, for those of you who are still wondering what is happening, it's Insight. And this is the new sound of Insight going forward. Now, straight to the matter of the day. Over the years in Nigeria, we have become used to the fact that each election cycle raises new issues that sometimes challenge the country's democratic space. Most stakeholders argue that our electoral process, at least since the commencement of the Fourth Republic, has evolved positively. The Electoral Commission, civil society organizations, and even the media have shown more than a passing interest to this evolution. The fallout of an enduring, some would say good electoral system, needs to be stressed, because it not only encourages popular participation in governance, it promotes respect for rule of law, due process, civil liberties, and human rights, and also makes governments accountable to the people. On Inside today, we will revisit the clamor, or maybe the campaign for the need for another round of electoral reforms, especially now that the 2023 elections are over. And I have a very formidable guest who is going to help us make sense out of this topic. His name is Comrade Kennedy Iyere. He is also the national convener of the Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security. Comrade Iyere, good morning. Oh, Barkalisa, thank you so much, Comrade, and thank you for dragging you from your rest to the program.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, you can join our live stream on YouTube by typing in Citizen FM 93.7, and you will be part of this show from anywhere in the world. You can also listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng, and not forgetting our social media platforms. 3 of them are available for us to interact with you. On Facebook, you can join us at Citizen FM Abuja. On Instagram, at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. So that's how it's going to be. My guest once again is Comrade Kennedy Iyere, National Convener, Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security. Comrade, straight on into the program. Are you part of the people who believe as a nation we need another electoral reforms?
Oh, yes, my brother. First and foremost, I think Citizens FM is a unique FM because this is the only session that have brought me to the studio after once or twice. Because, for me, I say it straight from my heart the way it is. Mindful of the fact that fines exist to be imposed on stations like yours. But then I try as much as I can to always say my mind the way I feel it actually hurts me. Yes, I'm one of those who believe. Not just one of those. I am one of the champions for another electoral reform. Because what we have today will lead us nowhere. And in the course of the deliberation, I will say more things about it.
Okay, well, thank you, comrade. There are two schools of thought to this issue. One, there are some who believe that yes, the electoral laws we have, we can tinker with them, we can revisit some of the issues and move on from there. But there are others who also believe that what we need is a complete or maybe a holistic change of the electoral laws and get something more enduring. Which school do you belong to here?
A complete overhaul. We need to overhaul. You know, when you have a car and the engine is not sound, you keep fixing, it keeps breaking down. You keep fixing, it keeps breaking down. There comes a time you just need to change the engine. Something is wrong with our electoral system and electoral process. In fact, the biggest fraud today we have in this country is the electoral process. It's fraudulent. So we need to change it completely. And if you want me to take one step further, I will tell you.
Okay, comrade. We are going to do this. I want us to take it step by step because there are lots of things to talk about when it comes to issue of our electoral laws and the issue of tinkering with our electoral laws. There are a lot of items that stakeholders, Nigerians like you, and others have spoken about. So I want us to take it step by step. First, let's start with maybe perhaps the one that is very current. A lot of people have advocated a rethink into how we embark on the recruitment process of electoral officers in the country, right from the national chairman of INEC to the resident electoral commissioners and to other officials of INEC who would take part in the electoral process. The process now, I'm sure you know that the president sends in recommendations to the National Assembly and the Senate will need to approve. But some people have argued otherwise. What do you think about this? What would be your suggestions on this first?
My brother, let me say this. Even the blind could see the fraud underlining the appointment of INEC officials. Now, let's start from the name, Independent National Electoral Commission. My question to you now, my interviewer, the word independent, you know what it means. To be independent means to exist without external interference into your actions and your decisions and your operations. You and I know that INEC is not independent. I'm going to be very mindful. Like I said, I'll be mindful of the way I use my words because I'm in the studio. I wouldn't want them to slam a fine on you. But if I was making my own press statement or I was to be addressing an audience in a press conference, I would have used a different tone. Now, I tell you this, what we have with INEC is the reality that signifies with the adage that he who plays the tighter detects the tone. Now, you invited me to this studio. And you know I don't have my level of independence as I speak with you. You know why? Because the regulations under which you operate forbid me using some words. So when I am going out of my own boundary, what you do is to bring me back and then tell me how to say what I have to say. Meaning I'm not free. I'm not free to air my mind the way I should. Not because you hate the truth, but because there are some regulations you just cannot violate. Now, whatever I say, you regulate me. INEC was established to be an independent body because INEC happens to be that body who determines whether the leaders we have will be leaders who are meritorious, who are actually deserving of the position they are placed. That is through the votes of the people. Or some people have picked and just put there, but not to serve the generality of Nigerians, but some selected few who are the cabals. INEC is not independent, but the fact that it is the president of Nigeria that makes that appointment makes that position a very biased position. That is, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria makes that appointment, and he's a partisan person. The president is elected by a party, and of course, he is the one appointing the man that determines who emerge, the people that will emerge as the next leader to take over from every other one that is outgoing, based on the 4-year rotation or tenure we run. So you see that until the chairman of INEC is appointed by the people themselves and not by the politicians, the fraud that we have been experiencing will continue to occur.
Okay.
So that is why a lot of us are asking for a total overhaul. The reform should be that the enthronement into the office of the national chairmanship, for example, let me focus on that, should be a public affair. That is, the people should be democratic in nature, such that you just cannot be appointed, but you have to be vetted. You have to be, your life has to be reviewed by the people. They have to know your antecedents have been made public. They have to know who you have been. You have to be in the public limelight and be examined by the people, and the people will vote.
Okay, comrade, I understand. Yes. I understand your line of thought, but the next question will be: who will now be saddled with this burden? Or which institution will be saddened with this burden of recruiting INEC officials?
Yes, there can be. That is where part of the reforms we are talking about. There can be a committee. It doesn't have to be. But
set up by who? Who will set up this committee?
Yes, the committee. Yes, it's a very good question. The government can set up a committee and select stakeholders from across different areas. You can bring religious leaders from the Supreme Council, from CAN. You bring from the civil society. You bring from just like what happened when they did the national conference. That was in 2014 or 2015.
Yeah, 2014.
You saw the way they brought the people from different places. Students were there. Labor union were there. The church leaders were there. Professional groups were there. Bring from NUJNMA, bring from NBA, bring from the Youth Council, then the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, and CAN. You bring from all segments. Then they come together as a body that is apolitical, a heterogeneous committee where you have people who cannot be influenced. That's what we're talking about. Traditional rulers will be involved. And then let these people even be the one to vote. And then before then, bring the profile of these people, make it public. If you know you want to aspire to be the next INEC chairman, now you can throw in your application. Then let the people know who these people are. you see, Nigerians, trust us. We know how to go back to dig in, we know how to dig into your past and know who you have been and who you are. Right. And then based on your track of meritorious service to the nation, being meritorious in your service to humanity does not mean you must have served in any public office before. I'm telling you, check the people they bring to Lagos. You know, you discover that they have committed one heinous crime before in the past. You know what they do here? Political patronage. It was nice to me in 1979 when I did this back thing. He covered it up for me. You bring him now to become this. So I'm telling you, if they want to set up a committee that is apolitical, we know how to make it work.
Okay,
that is the type of body who should screen. There should be a committee screening these people, and then a committee to vote them into office. That is how we should come about this.
All right.
And then once you have that, it means the president cannot sit and remove the man because he didn't do his bidding until their own offices are secured. INEC officials will remain biased and partisan.
All right, comrade, I get you. Now, okay, let's move on. Well, I think your suggestion is also maybe perhaps in tandem with some other stakeholders that have spoken about this matter. It's just a matter of the processes that may differ. But let's move on. Another issue of our election has always been the gap between announcement of winners for election, announcement of candidates, declaration of winners, and the period of swearing in. Now, some people are also of this school of thought that maybe perhaps we need to take a second look at even our constitution and our electoral laws to make it expedient for petitions to be dispensed with before candidates are sworn in any level of elections in Nigeria. That will eventually mean amending the constitution, altering the constitution and stuff like this. Is this something as a nation we can afford to do in the next 4 years?
Yes, anything that should be done in the interest of good governance is never too tasky, my brother. It's like when you talk about preparing well for a task and not preparing well for a task. Good preparation, adequate preparations will definitely engender good performance. The whole of these processes, the entire process, like I said, needs to be overhauled. Many things are wrong. If it is going to take us the highest of effort and sacrifice to get things right in order to, make things work out, it's never too much. So I am of the support. Yes, that whatever sacrifice that is worth the effort, whose impact will be worth the effort invested, is never too much.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Comrade Yere. Well, if you're just joining us, it's Insights on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are talking electoral reforms. To be or not to be, is this the time to start? When is even the appropriate time to take a second look at our various electoral reforms? And what are those things that we also need to reconsider in our electoral laws across board, from the local governments to the federal level? And so we've been talking about that. And my guest has been Comrade Kennedy Iyere, who is a national convener, Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security. And we need to take a short break. When we return, I will take up Comrade Iyere on some other issues, very vital issues that have to do with the electoral reforms. Comrade, please don't go away. We will return in a moment.
Thank you.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station. Talk to us on 93.7 Citizen FM. I say get out of my house. How we no get out? It go hard you. If you make a 10 slap on me, something go scatter in the walk on the air, I'm shingam when it got do it. Me do it, got a tabi.
And Banev, the year in Kwayan Shingam Pagachi, do me sit to my miongo, he at the Utiv Sha Itioki Citizen FM 93.7. Gadioka Shin or one and Banev Kwa, Ngwankwa, Mashi Henen Kwachi, Amacho Tom, Ihemion Danza Aqua, aha, Ati Utichi, Kati Wasi, Sha Itioki Citizen FM, Ati Utichi, Tichi.
Unanda ni bila kane rini ile di kunyala na kwa bani bila babesaka ineta Abuja ana bi Citizen FM 93.7 era so metete ene ya ni bila ba se no save ini radio ononi kuyo ni ba se no save ini ya bani bila saka obi eku ijumo eku Saturday ateku yose eku etononi agugo himporuva aba se men wa bani bila do ye ineta Abuja ezo wa ya kene ake wale jiri nuwo do aka isana na inoku down ni ibila kane re ume obi onivase kale nene ya bani bila saka de kada wona geten aboni.
Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, bringing you news updates on digital technology around us, discussing the latest developments and how technology can enrich you and make your life more exciting. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, welcome to our world of technology. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, expanding our global reach through technology.
Hi, my name is Rita Ezenwa Okoro, the founder and lead visionary of Street Project Foundation. Join the Street Project Foundation ambassadors Fridays, 8:30 a.m. on Citizen FM 93.7. We will be addressing key social issues such as xenophobia, police brutality, religious intolerance, youth profiling, insecurity, and other social issues in our radio series titled Omo, This is Real Life. Remember, Fridays, 8:30 a.m. on Citizen FM.
Decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.
93.7 Citizen FM. Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station. We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
And thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insights on Citizen FM 93.7. It's 10:34 in the city, and my guest is still standing by, Comrade Kennedy Iyeri, National Convener, Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security. Comrade, thank you for standing by.
Thank you.
All right. So we are discussing election. And we are also talking about electoral reforms in the country. Now that the 2023 elections are over, what are those things in our electoral laws that we think we need to revisit. You can join our live stream on YouTube by typing in Citizen FM 93.7, and you can also listen to us online on citizenfm.ng. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. And the phone line is also open. You can call us on 0818 205. I take that again, 0818 205. And you can also send us a WhatsApp message on that number. Just let us know where you are writing in from, so that we'll be able to respond to you adequately. Comrade Yeri, let's move on to some other issues that are also critical to our electoral reforms. And one of them has always been this clamor for electronic voting. There's been a lot of back and forth about this, and a lot of why it cannot take place, and a lot of reasons why it should take place and everything. Generally looking at, and I'm talking about the full-blown electronic voting sanctioned by the Constitution and also sanctioned by the electoral laws. Is it something we can afford as a nation in this point in time?
Definitely so, yes. You are on air with me. Right now, I'm in Imo State, you're in Abuja. Electronically, we are engaged. We are involved together. If you want to make your bank transactions now from your phone, you just do it. Internet revolution, IT revolution, or ICT, they have all come to make life easier. It is doable and it is possible, but the truth is that we're having problem with the whole thing because of the fraudulent electoral process we have in Nigeria. It has been entrenched. And the only way to eliminate the entrenched electoral process is by overhauling, just replacing the entire structure. You see, in medicine, there is this nomenclature or slogan or phrase they use, or word they use, the word endemic. If you say something, a disease is endemic, that is, it's restricted to an area, it means that disease can only be found in those areas. Like malaria now. It's here in Africa. It's an endemic disease here in Africa. In America, you don't have it because the factors that could bring about the outbreak of malaria are the factors that are prevalent here. It is known that electronic voting is an impossible thing or task or assignment or exercise. The problem is that the system under which we operate it in Nigeria is fraudulent. And that is why it's not working. So, my brother, we need to tell ourselves the truth. And the truth is that this pattern is not working for us. And as long as we, stay put on this, we'll only have it move from bad to worse and from worse to the very worst.
Comrade, your position is very interesting, and I'm sure some other people will share this. But let's look at this dispassionately. Assuming that, okay, as a nation we have overcome the issue of fraud, as you said, as you allege, okay, we have overcome that. We have all the officials of the electoral body are people of unquestionable integrity. The second thing to look at will be our capacity in terms of technology. You mentioned banking transfer and everything. I'm sure you know that these are minimal compared to the sheer huge size of the Nigerian population. For example, the last election, we had about 80-something million registered voters. Do you sincerely think that we have that capacity in terms of technology to deal with this?
Yes, let me just respond to you, my brother. I hope you have an idea of what 403 billion naira is.
I don't.
400, I'm coming. 403 billion naira. It has been ascertained that INEC was giving that amount. Now, let me say this to you. Nothing that is worth it is ever too expensive. Nothing that could save the life of millions of Nigerians cannot be said to be too expensive to afford. Nigeria is not a poor country. Nigeria is a very rich country. And you just heard the amount of money I quoted just now. That is exclusive of what other donor agencies, development partners are also contributing. I tell you the truth. Money is not the issue. The issue is the lack of the political will to do what is right. And doing what is right in this sense or context means removing these fraudulent people and replacing them with Nigerians of honest character who will not do it the wrong way. Rather than want things done the wrong way, they will rather resign. Until we take ourselves to that point, it will not work. That's the problem. 403 billion is even too much to achieve everything you have seen now as being too Herculean. There is nothing there. Let me tell you this.
Okay, cover that.
If it is worth the effort, money can never be a factor. And if the social good, social dividend expected from such a task is worth it, then money can never be a factor.
Okay, comrade, I'm sure that this discussion, in fact, on this alone, we can do a 1-hour program on it, on this aspect alone, because let's face it, let's be frank, when we talk about electronic voting, everything does not start and end with INEC. Understand, the electoral body. There are other issues that as a nation we need to prepare for, we need to have before this. But then that's a story for another day. Let's move on, comrade. Let's look at the issue of our voting pattern and the voting procedures. There are those who call for early voting for some segments of the society. Because when we talk about some categories of people that are disenfranchised during election period, security agents who are deployed, even INEC officials, media men, and so many other people that are part and parcel of the electoral process, most of the time they don't get to vote. And now some people say, like it's done in other societies, we can afford to have a early voting from this category of people, and their their ballot will not be counted until the close of ballot at the end of the day. Are these things we should consider too as a nation?
Yes, let me just say something to you. That's why I told you these things are not as difficult as some of us think. then you get that one, harmonize the results. And it even helps us now perform optimally in terms of the true transmission of these results electronically. You know, we must adopt a new pattern that works for us, because a good country that will be prosperous begins with the type of leaders elected into government offices or public offices. And if we continue to have leaders who are not up to standard, our dream of having a prosperous Nigeria will remain elusive.
Oh, okay.
So, responding to your question, we can adjust and make it flexible by making sure that, like we have in other countries, we spread it over days. You see, in some countries like America, from your office you go and cast your vote. When you are doing late ballots, you go just flexibly, just go and cast your vote daily, and then a day comes where people have to go to the polls. They go. That way, the traffic is reduced. I hope you know, the lesser the traffic, then the slimmer the chance of fraud being perpetrated. That's the truth.
Okay, comrade, just quickly to add to that, will it be too ambitious for us now in the country to begin to look at the possibility of diaspora voting?
Diaspora voting should be a necessity. And the reason why it has not been possible is so simple, it's so obvious. You know, you cannot manipulate their own votes. You cannot manipulate their body, you can't manipulate their mind. Because they live in a climate where they see things and systems work. Now, saying that we are thinking of the fact that we are still debating that issue today is something that actually grieves the heart. The diaspora community, they contribute a very large part of their own earnings and savings towards our growth and development. You know, remittances traceable to the diaspora community exceed 20 billion every year through the official channels, the very official channels. Then we also have the unofficial channel. Some people come in, take $500, give to my people that are not recorded. They still run into billions. So, such a people that have contributed so immensely to our development, why should they be deprived, of their right to vote? So, diaspora voting should not be a subject of debate, even at this point in time. It's belated. It should be something that we need not debate any longer. It should just be something that has to be made a reality. They are part of us. They contribute towards our economic development. Therefore, they have a right to also be part of that decision. Decision now of who should govern us. So it's not an issue we should debate. It has to be something that ought to have been taking place long before now.
All right. Okay, comrade, we are gradually winding down, but we can still take one or two calls. You can call us on 0818-222205, or you can call us on 0818-222206. Any of those two numbers, you can call us or send us a WhatsApp message. It's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are looking at electoral reforms post 2023 election, and my guest has been Comrade Kennedy Iyere, National Convener, Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security. Comrade, we have a caller. Let's listen to him, please. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Thanks for the calling. Well done.
Good morning.
My contribution to this subject matter is more especially diaspora voting. Diaspora voting is very important. Because those who are giving us a lot of money, we're making a lot of money from their remittance. They must have a say on what is going on in Nigeria. But politicians will find it so difficult because of their selfish interest to make it work. Because they will consider those that have population, the part of the country that have population outside, they may influence the outcome of the vote. All these considerations may come out, and on the process they will subdue they will bring it down, they will not let it to work. Political considerations, it's a very big problem in Nigeria. But for that voting, very, very important. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your call. It's still Insight, and we can take one more call. You can call us on 0818 222205. Comrade, I'm sure you heard the last caller. He virtually reinforced what you said earlier to the question. But Comrade, as we wind down, because we have less than 2 minutes to go, all this said and done about electoral reforms, if the major players, the political parties, the politicians do not adhere to the rules of the game, everything will come to nothing at the end of the day. It's very easy for us as Nigerians, especially Nigerians that are not card-carrying members, to criticize institutions of governments who do not work according to our aspirations. It's a different thing when political players themselves, who are part of the problem, spearhead some of these criticisms. So how do we begin how do we begin to talk about political parties and respect for...
I'll just tell you briefly that this might end up being the most valid point I'm going to make on this show. Politicians are the most powerless in the whole process if we have an independent INEC.
Really?
But if we have, yes, we have an independent electoral commission. I'm a social entrepreneur. And as a civil society leader, I think the next time you bring me, let me even talk about my own people.
One of these days we will do that.
Now, but let me say this to you. If you have a truly independent electoral commission, politicians will just be mere servants. You know why? It assures that the votes of the people will count and the process will not be manipulated. It's not going to be subject to any form of manipulation. And then they will be forced or compelled to play by the rules. I deal with politicians, especially now that political education is on the increase. Now that you see sitting governors are unable to be elected into the Senate, sitting governors cannot be find it difficult to get the second tenure. Things are changing from the side of the people of the electorate because they now know who they want. So if you have the reason why they are still defiant and arrogant is because they feel, with their money they can bribe their way through, they can lobby this electoral management body. But the moment you have an electoral body, an electoral umpire that is well positioned to truly become independent, which means they can do the right thing and their jobs will still be secured, then you see that these people you call politicians, they are not as important as we think they are. Because they are coming to beg for the people's vote. So if the people are ready to vote for the right candidate and they are sure that their votes count, then where does that place the politician? Places are nowhere, my brother. That's the truth.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Kennedy Yeri, National Convener, Civil Society Committee for Anti-Fraud Election Security. It's always a pleasure talking to you on Insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother.
All right, so that's our package on Insight today. The program returns tomorrow with another interesting topic. My name is Lawrence Umotte. Enjoy your day.